Hey y'all, welcome back to the Math Bench. We're going to be starting with Module 5 this week, and our focus is going to be working with hundreds and tens within 1,000. Students will be using place value strategies, the arrow way, number bonds, and mental math to add and subtract efficiently. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we're doing for lessons 2 through 5. For lesson 2, we are going to be adding and subtracting with multiples of 100, including counting on to subtract. If we look at our instructions here, it says use the arrow way or mental math to be able to solve our answers. For number 1, we have 760 minus 500. Using the arrow way, which is shown below in the example, you're starting with 760, and each arrow we're going to be taking away 100. Since our problem wants us to take away 500s, we have to repeat that process 5 times. If we do that, we get 660, 560, 460, 360, and on the last 100 that we take away, we're left with 260, and thus 760 minus 500 is 260. The mental math approach here is 7 minus 5. You have 760, and that is 700s. You want to take away 500s, you're only going to be left with 2. Your 10s and 1s should remain the same. For lesson 3, we're going to be adding multiples of 100 and some tens within 1,000. Here at the top for number 1, we can see that we have to use the arrow way to solve this problem. If we have 440 plus 300, I like personally to start with the bigger number here. 440 is greater than 300, thus I'm going to start with 440. This means that I need to add 3 more hundreds. In doing so, after I add 100, I get 540, another 100 gets me 640, and one more 100 gets me 740. That is 300s added to 440 to get me my final answer of 740. The same would be done with 440 plus 380. We would add our 300s at the bottom there, and then we would have to go on and add 8 10s in order to get our final answer. Try it on your own or with company and let me know what you get in the comments below. For lesson 4, we're going to subtract multiples of 100 and some tens within 1,000. Lesson 4 is a continuation off of lesson 3, but instead of adding, we are going to be focusing on subtraction. If we take a look at number 1, it says to solve using a simplifying strategy. You have to figure out some way or some strategy in order to simplify. Simplify means to make it easier, to make it simple. So if you want to make 830 minus 530 simple, the arrow way, which is hint hint what we've been practicing for the past couple days now, is what's going to be recommended to help simplify this problem. So if you have 830, you're going to take away 500 because we're taking away 530. But just take away your 500 first. If you have 830 and you take away 500, you're left with 330. Now you just have to take away your 10s. In this case, it wants us to take away 3 10s because we have 530. 30 is 3 10s. Thus, 330 minus 30, you'll be left with 300, and 830 minus 530 should equal 300. For number 2, we can see that it wants us to get 67 10s and take away 30 10s. You could use the vertical method here if you like to get that. You should end up with 37 10s. However, the value of 37 10s is not going to be 37. If you plug it into your place value chart, which is right above the answer, you can see that 37 10s is 300s and 7 10s, and obviously we don't have any 1s here, but if you look at that number, it's not just 37, it is 370. And thus the value of this problem is 370. For lesson 5, we're going to be using the associative property to make 100 in one addend. So, for example, in this question here, which is a part of our exit ticket and one of our future lessons here on number 5, we can see that 390 plus 210 is not as easy as we would like it to be. And in fact, if you look at the instructions in this question, it wants us to add by drawing a number bond to make 100, and then write the simplified equation and solve. Remember the word simplify. Simplified, it means to make it simple, to make it easier for us to be able to solve it. Well, here's one thing that I do notice. 390 plus 210. 390 is really close to becoming the next 100. I know in class we've talked about making the next 10. Well, the same can be applied here for making the next 100. If we were to add one more 10 to our 9 10s that we have there, we would not just be at 300 anymore, we would move on to 400. And where can we grab that extra 10 from? Well, look no further than the other addend that we have here, 210. 210 has an extra 10 laying there for us to be able to use and regroup and basically reorder it in the sense of where 390 can become 400, but because of that, since we're giving 10 to 390, we're gonna lose 10 at 210. That means our new simplified equation is going to be 400 plus 200, which becomes a lot easier to solve because in reality, you don't have to count 200 times or 400 times. You just have to count 4 plus 2. And in order to do that, you just line up your hundreds with your hundreds, and 4 plus 2 will get you 6. You add your 10s and your 1s back in there, and you're gonna get 0 and 0. Thus, you'll end up with 600. The number bond is towards the right of where you can see 390 plus 210. We can unbundle that and we can decompose it to make 210 to separate them. And on the furthest point of the right here of our picture, we can see that the 390 plus that 10 more will get us 400. But because we took away 10 from 210, it is going to be 400 plus 200 now. That's very simple to solve, and you should be left with 600. That wraps up our introduction for Module 5, Lessons 2 through 5. This week, students are building fluency with hundreds and tens by using counting strategies, simplifying numbers by using the arrow method or maybe vertical method, and rearranging addends to make math easier. These strategies prepare students for larger multi-step problems that they will be seeing later on in the module. So, with that being said, thanks for watching the Math Bench video this week. We'll see you next time as we continue working within 1000. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend and have a great upcoming week.